For 61 days, students at the University of Warwick have been trying their luck at the greatest game on earth. 18 people began this journey, and only 4 remain. Tilly has played under the radar, using her connection with Ben to get her through. From saying she wanted to quit to now being in the final 4, will the jury reward the story of how far she's made it into the game and give her the win based off of her inspiring narrative? Freddie has played the ultimate double agent game, voting incorrectly at the majority of his tribal councils to maintain relationships with those blindsided by the votes, despite always knowing which way the vote was going. Will this help him preserve jury votes or prove too good at hiding his involvement in the game? From starting knowing nobody but Tilly in the game, Ben has become a power player, driving some of the biggest blindsides of the season, and being given the most visible credit for the moves made by his alliances in the game. Will the jury reward his open and cutthroat gameplay? Robin has played up her out-there personality in order to get people to underestimate her, playing dumb and cozying up towards the biggest players before cutting them. Placed in the middle of the triple alliance that has so far controlled the game, will the jury respect how she positioned herself in the middle and flipped to get her through? It's been a long journey, but we're finally here. 4 remain in the finale of Survivor, Roots of War.
Don't grab your stuff because we're going to do the challenge here.
Oh.
I'm really sad that Lizzie had to be voted out. Honestly, it breaks my heart, genuinely, because she's genuinely such a nice, kind person.
So Lizzie's gone, which was actually difficult. I'm going to miss her. I really liked her, and she was great to play against, but it had to be done to keep me, Robin and Freddie together. And that is the trio that from pretty early on, we said this is our final 3. And so it has been. And at least one of that trio has been directly involved in influencing every single vote since the merge.
Between the 3 of us, we have controlled every vote in the merger.
I absolutely now don't want to take Freddie to the end. He still has Lizzie on side now. I was hoping that by the time Freddie got to the end, he'd have betrayed Lizzie.
In the final 9, there were 3 original Fire Tornado and 6 original Vibe people. And now there are 3 original Fire Tornado people, so have that, you tossers.
But I have to say, I'm just glad I made it this far. I want to say thank you to Lizzie and Nogga, obviously, because I know that I don't know if they said this in a confessional, but Nogga was telling me how she didn't want to vote me out because I said and mentioned that this was really helping my mental health. I was really struggling mentally. I was having a lot of conflicts with friends, and I felt very detached and I needed an outlet. And so with this, I've managed to make and meet a ton of new people that have been really nice and supportive. But any of the people that have made it a certain length of time with me, obviously the first few people that were voted out, obviously I didn't get to know very well. Everyone who made it a little bit further, that I've had a proper conversation with, went to the pub with, I want to say that they really genuinely made an impact on my life. And it's the reason why I managed to get through term this term.
I know I said it in my first confessional, but I thought I was going to go out in the first few weeks. I didn't think I was going to survive all these tribals either. I just did not ever predict this at all. But I have specifically ensured my place here by making sure that there were 2 people who had sufficient evidence that I was going to take them to final 2 on both sides, because Freddie knew from day 1, and I have done a lot for Freddie to get him to this point, because I knew that I couldn't get to this point without Freddie, but also as well to make sure that he sort of felt like he owed something to me, oh God, that sounds terrible, but I've done a lot for Freddie.
There's no point in stopping trusting her now, given that she has basically kept me in this game.
Freddie objectively would not be here if it weren't for me, and now Ben knows that too. The thing with Ben is he now is aware that I've tipped off Freddie, and I found the idol for Freddie, which I tried to play off as and I did that so Freddie would owe me and he'd trust me and blah, 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 but I don't want to go against you and blah, blah, blah. But I think that Ben doesn't really have any other choice but to trust me. I think Ben and I've specifically tried to play it so that Ben thinks not only that I trust Ben completely and that kind of thing. I tried to play it specifically to dumb myself down around Ben. having Ben on my side has meant that me and Freddie have been protected. But it's also meant that like it's guaranteed that like I have 2 people on both sides of the merged tribe who fought for me, and that I think is what got me here. I didn't see this happening, and so I think now I'm starting to let myself get excited.
Right now, I reckon I need to go to the final with Robin, and that's going to make it super difficult for on the last challenge, which I know Freddie is going to be determined to try and win. And maybe even next week I flip on Freddie and use Tilly and Robin to get him out. Not sure about that yet. We'll see.
There's a lot to think about here.
Alright, welcome to your final 4 immunity challenge. In this challenge, you will be traveling between 3 different stations to try and come up with a combination to this lock. You will each have an example of an equation. To fill in the equation, you must go to each station listed. At station 1, you will have to solve 4 out of 6 possible dingbats. If you get 4 correct, Ellie will give you a number to add into the equation. At Sherborne, you'll be asked to count pins. You are not allowed to move them, you just have to hover over them and count them. Then you have to try and run back and remember the number. You will leave your phones here so you cannot write it down. Then, at this station, you will have to write down the boot order of this season. The last 14 people you voted out in the correct order, including quits. If you complete each station, you will be given a number to put into the equation. Once you have all 3 numbers, you can try and come up with a 4-digit answer, which will be the code. First person to open the lock wins. For final 4 immunity, guaranteed spot in the final 3. Survivors ready? Go! First things first, fill out the boot order of the season. Robin is off first.
Oh, this is way harder than I thought.
Wait.
That includes today's vote, yeah? Yeah.
Who went today? Everyone trying to figure out the boot order. This is showing your knowledge of the game.
That's not time and place. Location and fuck, okay.
I'm missing one.
12. 6 feet deep. 12 inches down. Hell. Oh.
I've done it.
Right, Ben, I'll check. Ben is correct.
And that was station 3.
Yeah.
Who
Ben moves on to the next station.
In the grave. 12 inches in the grave. Not 12 inches in the grave. Fuck, what else is 12 inches? Well,
who was the other one? Who was that? 63. Yes?
I can't tell you whether it's right or not. You have to go back.
You're fucking kidding
Nope.
me, seriously?
Nope.
Oh shit, okay. Fuck's sake. Were there only 3 vote outs before we switched teams?
Yeah.
Okay.
Done.
Do you want to check? You're wrong.
I'm wrong. Am I wrong? You sure?
Yep.
Can I just keep trying until you tell me I'm right? Is it that?
Yep.
Oh, for fuck's sake, right.
2 eyes in good. There's 2 eyes in good. I genuinely don't remember. I remember Kaylin. I think Isaac, but again, I have no clue. These
You
people.
can move on to a different station if you want.
Yeah.
And just come back to this.
I'll come back to it. I genuinely do not remember any of them.
I have to ask you if I'm right.
Just tell me what you think it is.
63.
Off you go. Oh my gosh!
Oh, I got one. I've got one. Wrong time, wrong place.
No.
Really?
Yes.
No.
Sit down and think. Sit down and think.
61. Okay, now you have to go back. I can't tell you whether it's right or not.
Oh, you can't tell me.
No,
okay,
you have to
well,
go back.
I'll send my thing and do that.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I got one. 1 foot in the ground.
Yep.
I've definitely done something wrong. Honestly, I've already failed this thing, so that's why I don't really give it up.
Yes.
Oh, I need the number. What
There's one more. You're in wrong
I've done 3. That's what you have to do 4. Fuck me. Okay.
12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You've got this. Sit down and look.
How do we feel about Freddie winning immunity?
As long as 2 goes out.
It's just that who do we think is going to be able to win that final one? If this is our final 2, is it Freddie or is it Tilly that we want there alongside us? Because Freddie has threatened for weeks to stay there until he has pissed himself.
61. You know what? I'm going with 61. Fuck it. If it's 62, then I'll go.
Okay.
61? I don't know much. Yeah, no.
I think there are ways to convince Freddie.
To do what?
To convince Freddie.
To do what? To go out?
No, to.
To let go of the pillar?
Yeah. If he felt comfortable enough knowing that either of us would take him with him to final 2.
I don't think he's going to be able to do it.
Just work together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
you got
right. And which one have you got?
This one.
I've got that one too. Grab a piece of paper off the table.
All right.
Put it into the...
Oh yeah. Is that wrong then?
Did you put it in?
2880.
Freddie is incorrect.
Bastard. Okay.
Peas. Pea-boo. Peas-boo. Peas-boo. What does peas-boo mean? What does peas-boo mean?
75. All right. Well, I've clearly got this wrong. 2835. Did the maths wrong? Okay. So it's 2870 then. Oh my god.
Freddie is still wrong.
That's piece.
Good looking. That's 4.
Yeah.
Good looking. Wait, what's the other one?
You haven't got the number. You need the number.
Wait, what's the other one?
2835 plus 35 is 2870. Okay, so I haven't got it wrong then.
Ben, what is it?
What a dick! I told them. I got both of them basically.
Alright, back to the fucking show when I'm going. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. I wasn't sure if I counted that one or not. So let's say that was 64. Because there was one that I wasn't sure if I counted or not, but I didn't count it.
Ben trying to climb over the fence. Ben on his way back.
I've forgotten how to do multiplication. Oh, thank God.
And Freddie completes it and wins immunity. Freddie wins immunity.
Come on!
Safe makes it to the final 3. Comes back before anyone else and solves it before anyone has the chance to write down.
Pins.
Did you finish it?
No, I couldn't do it.
I didn't even do 2 challenges.
Alright, congratulations Freddie, come get immunity.
Thank
You
you.
have made it to the final 3 of Survival Warwick and will have a chance to fight in the final immunity challenge for your spot
You'd love
in
to
the
hear
final
it.
2. As for the rest of the 3 of you, one of you will be the 15th person voted out of Survival Warwick, coming just short of the final immunity challenge and join the jury. And you have until Monday to figure that out.
Yeah.
Grab your stuff, head out.
I will be discussing this with you later, Zan, in the kitchen with many hand movements
come back here.
in pure anger. I gave him the last, what was it? Riddle thingy. I don't even know what it's called. Whatever he said. Dingbat. I gave him the last dingbat. Them, actually, Robin, you're welcome to.
Yeah.
And then he decided to fuck off. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
He decided to fuck off with the other two words and didn't tell me the other
I
two.
ran the wrong way.
I think I should have won that.
But,
I would have won that.
No, you wouldn't.
If
You've done one
if he
dingbat.
had given me, if he had given me the 2 dingbats, I would have won.
Tilly, had you been to the
Yeah.
pins? What number did you get?
64.
Oh, okay.
That's
she was
right.
She was right.
Did you actually go there? No.
I did go there.
No,
I did go there.
no,
Ask
no.
Anna, I did go
I
there.
don't believe
There's
it.
a video of me going there.
I'm in the fucking final 3, 2 consecutive challenge wins. Couldn't have done that first one without Lizzie.
We've made it through to final 3. Oh my god, this is so low down on my head.
We're in the
There we
final 3, man.
We made it to final 3. Okay.
It's crazy. And I have a feeling that if I'd been vulnerable the last couple, for the last bit out on this one, there's a chance that Ben would have gone for me.
If I'd have won immunity, I'd have probably tried to switch the vote onto Freddie.
Are we all on the same page about this?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm
It's the
afraid
easiest
so.
vote yet, as far as I'm concerned.
So I think I'd be very surprised if it wasn't Tilly that went out. It needs to be unanimous, right? Otherwise, I mean, there's the possibility of a 2-2-1 split, but that's so unlikely and difficult to pull off. 2-1-1, sorry.
Well, Tilly's obviously going to try and turn you against me.
She knows that it's going to be her. I feel really bad about betraying her, especially after her little spiel there. But I think that was done with the interest of trying to guilt trip me. And quite frankly, I'm still going to vote with you guys because I feel more loyalty to this trio than I do to her. So even if I'm betraying her, it's only to preserve this alliance. Tilly will go next. Feel bad for her, but I have to do it to keep the final 3, as predicted, of Robin, Freddie and Ben. I think we deserve to be the final 3. A little worried that Freddie's probably going to be able to hold on to that pole for longest, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. For now, Tilly out next, which feels bad as well, but had to be done eventually. Do I have your permission to tell her that I'm going to vote for her?
Yeah, I don't really care.
All right, thank you.
What, will that affect anything?
She has told me that if I was going to betray her, she'd like me to have warned her.
Then
I don't think it will affect the votes in any way. I just don't want
Because
to
it's
blindside her. And I
Fine.
don't want to lie to her and say, sure, I'll flip on Robin. And then not do
Yeah,
that.
no, that's fine by me.
All right, thank you.
She can't do anything at this point.
Yeah. Okay, cool. In that case, easy vote on Monday. Enjoy
Swag.
your festival.
Thank you.
See you then.
Okay, then we'll see you at
In a bit,
final
gang.
3. Genuinely, Freddie. We can breathe. Celebrate. I have been waiting 10 weeks for this moment, and I did not think I would get here. And now that I'm here, I'm like, it's like in touching distance. Like, we are so close. We are so close. I am so close, and it's not even to the title of winner. It's just to like giving it a shot. I just want to give it my best shot at winning, and if I don't win and I tried my best, then that's like I can't be mad at that. I kind of want to bring it home for the girls, and also both Ben and Freddie annoy me every time they win an immunity challenge. They piss me off. They're like, yes, I won. I'm like, have a bit of humility. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But
Very exciting.
I know, this is very exciting. I needed Freddie. I needed Freddie as much as Freddie needed me. If I'm on jury, if something goes horribly wrong and I end up on jury and I'm having to vote between Freddie and Ben, I think I'll vote for Ben. That's the like really weird thing, is that I think I'd vote for Ben. I think Ben in many ways is my actual winner, but I just feel like I promised Freddie first. Fuck me, I hope Tribal Council goes well today and that Tilly goes out. I'm gonna have to speak to Ben and stuff and make sure everything's still on, but yeah, we'll see.
I think you're in danger this week.
Oh, I know for sure. I'm definitely out.
I'm going to vote for you.
Okay.
You said,
See?
you mentioned, well no, listen, you mentioned the other day that you wanted me to let you know before I did vote you out,
Yeah.
so I am.
Oh, I knew that. I knew today when that happened. That's why I said.
I've been quite strongly allied with both Freddie and Robin for a while.
Yes.
And, okay, good, so I don't want you to think I'm betraying you for selfish reasons. I'm betraying.
Oh, it is entirely selfish.
No.
Don't bullshit me. Don't.
Listen. I'm voting against you to preserve an alliance and trust with the other two. I'm going against one alliance to go with the other two. The other two were in my original tribe.
I knew that was going to happen. I didn't trust them at all from the beginning to not do that, right? Like, he wants to win. I know he wants to win. I said to Lizzie, vote for me this week so that potentially he didn't get voted out, because I'm a nice person. He's a bit of an asshole. It's not selfish, but I'm voting for you.
Yeah, because I'm preserving trust with the other two.
Yes.
It's either you or Robin this
Yes,
week,
yes.
and I've been allied with Robin a lot longer than I have with you. It's true.
Getting tough.
Well, the game hasn't started
My
at the beginning of
heart!
time.
Oh no,
I'm
what am I
playing
going
the
to do
game,
with
Tilly.
myself?
I'm playing the game.
Oh no!
Yeah, alright.
I don't think he's actually sorry at all. I knew this was his plan from the beginning. So yeah, I outlasted all my other team, and I'm pretty surprised about that actually. I didn't expect it. I hope you lose.
I'm just trying to be honest with you. I'm trying to let you know that. This is...
Ben, I already said I don't give a shit. Yes, it's
And you
fine.
said you hope I
I
lose.
said I knew already.
Hey, but saying you hope I lose doesn't suggest that you don't give
I'm
a shit.
joking. Fine. I don't hate you now. You're good. Vote for me, please.
I will.
Thank you.
Okay. It's been fun playing with
Cheers.
you. Really? Still a loser?
I don't do handshakes, remember?
Well, that's still a handshake.
Yeah. I know for a fact that I'm not going to win either of them over to my side to vote there now. I mean, I guess I could try, but I feel like I would be an arsehole move for my part. Even if it is a game, I wouldn't morally be happy with myself to do that. I wouldn't go against a friend like that.
Rowan and I are set on Tilly, so
If you two are completely set on that,
all you can do
do
is
I-
tie at that point.
Ben's kind of out of luck. He has to go for Tilly because he knows that I won't vote for Robin.
didn't expect to make it this far. Well, maybe I kind of slightly did. I reckon I'm guaranteed final 3. Tilly probably won't vote for me now, but I think Freddie will win the final immunity challenge, at which point I'm going to be having to convince him to take me with him. Because I think Robin will do very well at the end.
You think so?
Yeah,
I
do.
don't think so.
Why?
Because I think that she has played such a dangerous game.
Yeah.
And people are really suspicious of her. I know that Phoebe, Nogga, probably Lizzie wouldn't vote for her to win.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I mean, it all depends on what comes out in the final.
Yeah.
Ben, part of the reason why I think Ben trusts me is that I'm like, neither of us can beat Freddie. And Ben agrees that neither of us can beat Freddie.
I think Freddie thinks that I beat him. I think that Freddie beats me. So Freddie won't take me. I want to take Robin.
I have intentionally made Ben think for quite some time that I am taking him to final 2 to sort of have a proper safety net. I made a decision where I was like, if I lose Ben's trust, this is game over for me.
Right. So you'd take her over me if you weren't.
Not necessarily. I don't... I mean, yeah, I feel like I'd have a better chance of winning against her.
Yeah.
But, you know, I haven't, like, come to any conclusion. I mean, it would probably make more sense for me to be in the final with her because I feel like I'd have a better chance of winning. Again, you're an unknown quantity to me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I've been trying to play the jury too hard, trying not to piss people off, and I think it's going to result in me being on the jury.
I think my biggest threat is Ben winning the final 3 challenge, because I know for sure he wouldn't take his to final with him. He would take Robin. Robin could, in theory, go for Ben, and presumably Tilly's going to kind of realise that she's at big risk here. There's the possibility of a massive move where Tilly and Robin vote against Ben, which I would actually consider doing, because I think there's a really good chance that one of me or Robin would beat Tilly in the final 3 challenge, and then it'd be a me-Robin final, which is my ideal, because all the bad things I've done that could be used against me, she's also done.
So I think I quite comfortably get swept by whoever I'm up against.
You think so?
Yeah, I think I have a better chance against. I just don't know.
I think you
I
haven't.
haven't thought about it.
Because I think I could convince Robin of that. It's not even that deep if Ben finds out, because I know he's not going to take me to the final anyway. So maybe I should float this one with Robin and see what she says.
I'm not going to try to save myself this week. I disagree with what Ben said about it not being selfish. It is entirely selfish, and I think it's important to say it is selfish, yes, because it is a game and he wants to win. That is totally okay, Ben, to want to win. That is fine. I'm happy to go out. I think it would be morally wrong of me to go against what Ben said.
Apparently, Freddie texted Robin saying, "Are we sure Ben is the one we want to take with us to final 3?" Which is super interesting. I mean, obviously Robin will defend me. Robin has my back 100%, and the fact she's told me this proves it.
I floated the idea of voting out Ben to Robin, but she argued against.
I mean, I can defend against it easily if I convince Tilly to vote for Robin, which I think she'll do, because it's much of a muchness where she votes. But I don't know, that's a strange play on his behalf. I'm acting like I wasn't, if somebody else won immunity, I wasn't going to target Freddie anyway. Even so, it's a little snaky move after going, "Guys, are we absolutely sure that Tilly's the one we want gone?" And everyone's saying, yes, absolutely sure. Okay, perfect, just making sure we're on the same page. So Robin, want to get rid of Ben? Either way, I don't blame him too much, but it makes me super determined to want to go to the final with Robin, who I reckon I've got a good chance of beating.
I was working out how many votes I would get if it was me and Freddie versus me and Ben, but also how that would change if like I won final immunity versus if they won final immunity. Like honestly, the best case scenario for me as like a guaranteed win is probably for Ben to win immunity and for him to take me with him. I just think that's not going to happen. That is not going to happen.
I will be voting for Ben at the end. I know I was joking before, saying I wasn't going to vote for him. I'm joking, I'm just messing with him. I will continue to mess with him if he gets through, because that's just the way I live. I have to mess with him a little bit. I think it's really great that he's made it this far. I'm not angry at him at all. I think it would be wrong of me to say that I would vote against someone and do something wrong to someone just because they've done it to me or they've said things to me. I think there's a lot of wrong created in the world from people saying, "Oh, but someone else would do worse than me, therefore I'm excused." I'm a firm believer of the fact that there is no excuse. I should hold myself to my moral standard always, and so I stand by that. I will not be doing anything. I'm supporting Ben. If he wants to vote me out, if he wants to get further, I'm totally okay with that, because I'm in Survivor clearly for a different reason to him, and that was clear from the start. I knew this was his plan from the start, and I'm totally okay with it, and I really hope Ben does well.
I knew if I could navigate through the first few rounds, when it seemed like everyone who already knew each other were grouped up and running things, I knew if I could make it through that, then I could really start to assert myself in this game. And since Owen went out, I think I've been the best game player. That might pay off, or there's a good chance that Robin and Freddie both recognise that and realise my game's been so good that people might respect the strategy and vote for me at the end, and so they'll take each other. Tell you what though, the Phantom Menace metaphor is really pulling through. Right now I am the Emperor Palpatine, and Robin is my Darth Vader, my apprentice. Freddie is Luke Skywalker. And I think Robin and Freddie will end up going to the final together. at which point Freddie will win.
Final four.
I've sat here every
God, it's
single
so
one.
I've sat here
empty.
every single time as well. Yeah. Oh yeah, the merge, yeah.
Oh, I love your water bottle.
We're now bringing the members of our jury. And Owen and Toby. Alright, final four. Who thought when they came into this game with 18 people up on that hill that they would make it this far?
Not me.
How does it feel, Robin?
Oh, it feels very surreal. I said in like my first confessional, I thought I was going out in the first like 2 weeks. So like for me, this is like a very surreal moment that I very much did not expect, and it feels like a bit of a stroke of luck. Sounds like the right. I don't know if that's the right thing, but I'm very grateful to be here.
Freddie, winning immunity. Good.
man.
Well done.
Thank you.
Do you think that it was important at this point in the game? Do you think that you could have potentially have gone home if
Yeah, absolutely. It's the most important time to win, I think, because at this point you can't leave anything up to chance. Who knows what would have happened if I hadn't won immunity? No. Very glad I did.
Tilly, you're looking very dressed up.
No, I have no idea why.
Why?
I think everyone knows, right?
Please tell me.
Well, at least all in their confessional should have been shown. Wait, do you show confessionals before or after?
Before.
Well, then you know that all of them are going to be voting for me. So, I'm at my last trial.
Ben, have you heard of this? Is Tilly saying?
Yeah, she's telling the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, she's right.
Yeah.
So we're being very open this trial.
I don't see why we wouldn't be. I told Tilly to her face that I'm voting for her. I don't know about anyone else, but that's what I'm doing.
I am also voting for Tilly, sorry Queen,
Yeah,
but I'm absolutely terrified.
I already
I have
confirmed
been
with
so
that.
stressed that this is the biggest blindside ever. This could all be like the biggest, this was the biggest slay move from Tilly. Like she last minute convinced everyone against someone.
But she'd need help, and I don't think it would play into anyone else's game to do it.
Okay, Ben.
So
Tilly, you want to give your best shot at convincing?
No, I already said in my confessional what my plan was, and I'm okay with that. Well, like with what I stand with. I
Robin,
want to go out.
Robin,
I
you
think
seem
it's
stressed
better.
at the fact that she said plan.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
I feel like it's been no secret that for like the past, or since merge, I have hounded both, specifically Ben and Freddie, being like, is it my turn this week? Is it my turn this week? And there's something that is unsettling about how we're all just like, and Tilly's going out. But I think I just have to do the one last final trust, and that we were open with you out of respect for your iconic nature, and that I hope
I think it's good that I would rather it be that way than to be blindsided. To do
Tilly,
that.
as someone who openly mentioned after the first challenge that you'd be happy going home first, what does it feel to be the last person remaining on your tribe, having outlasted the entirety of the rest of the Vibe tribe? How does it feel if this is your day?
It feels interesting. It feels like somehow by a stroke of luck, purely at the beginning, and then because I would have been out first week because I was open about that. The first challenge really knocked me out, literally.
sorry again.
So it was quite a lot, and yeah, it was lucky that that Vibe Tribe won that challenge, and made it through because I wouldn't be here at all then. So
Well, Tilly, I guess we'll find out what they have in store for you. It's time to vote.
oh, I can go first. Fighting, I haven't been first. Okay, so I've debated who to put down. Like, should I put myself and be respectful and be like, I want to do this, or should I be a bit of a bitch and put Ben's name down just to give him a little push to see like, did they?
Good luck, Robin.
I never spoke.
This could be your last vote. Freddie gave me some weird smile. He was coming back in. I'm scared now. It had to be, it always had to be. I swear to God, Freddie. I'm sure he's just bluffing. I'm sure he's just bluffing.
Got a nice cute one for you. Because this is a sad goodbye. Unless something crazy's happened. It's been a lot of fun. I'm glad that you stuck it out and didn't go out early as you originally thought you would want to. You've been a good team member and it's been fun playing this game with you.
Blood pressure machines.
I'll read the votes.
All right, I'll read the votes. First vote. Ben. Tilly. Tilly. 15th person voted out of Survival Warwick. Roots of War. Tilly. Woo! That's three, that's enough.
Betrayal! How dare
Grab your
all of
torch.
you.
Tilly,
There we go.
the tribe has spoken.
Woo! Fourth place, Terry, I'm strong.
Well, if it isn't the first three people I wanted to vote out.
Well, you've made the final three, and there is only one thing in your way, the final immunity challenge. And I guess we'll find out.
It's been super fun. And I've enjoyed it very much. And I'm glad I get to go out on kind of my own terms, I guess. I am happy with where I got, and I didn't want to lose friendship over a game when I think friendship in the long run for my life is more important. Ben is a bit scared because, as was mentioned, I was about to go out at the beginning, and then I had a development of character kind of thing, so I think I had a lot of that. And Ben's quite a strong character, so I think I might have gotten more votes in that sense, which might have scared me a little bit.
Final three confirmed. Wow, who'd have thought? Me, I'd have thought. Well, I don't know if that's true. I was reasonably confident. Since I made that pact, me, Robin and Freddie, we've been running the game since. And when we said this is our guaranteed final three, of course I was questioning, of course I was skeptical. But, you know, it's been reasonably smooth.
Final three, we have me, Robin, Ben, which kind of poetic because we've been working together since pretty much the second vote out of the merger. Final three challenge, we know what it is because it's a classic of College Survivor.
I need Robin to win. I need Robin to win the challenge because that way she takes me to the final and I haven't betrayed Freddie.
I'm not going to go out before Ben does. I'm going to make sure he's go out before me because otherwise he could win the whole thing and then I'd definitely be gone.
Freddie won't let go of the poll until Ben does. Freddie won't. When I found out that the challenge was the poll, I was like, if we all go in solitary and none of us knows how the other is playing, it is going to go on for out. There is no end. Freddie is terrifying. Freddie was like, I'll piss on the poll. I will literally piss on the poll and stay there all night. That's vulgar. Love you, King, but I'm not letting that happen. That's not happening on my watch. I genuinely think, though, he's too eager. He's like, I'll do it. He's like, I'll just whip it out. Don't do that, Freddie. You have to have a plan going in to make sure it ends up in your favour. I've interpreted the poll challenge. Zam was like, it's this test of willpower and test of strength. I think it is. But I think it's also a test of I think it's the ultimate mind test. I have told Ben that if he lets go of the poll, I can convince Freddie to let go of the poll on the basis that Freddie thinks that I'm taking him to final two, because Freddie has said to me that his ideal situation is for me to get immunity. That's what he said.
Spoke to Robin and we got a little plan for this final challenge. If I let go fairly early on, And then if Freddie is convinced that if he lets go, Robin will win and take Freddie to the final, then that would be great, because then Freddie will let go and Robin will actually take me to the final. And in doing so, we'll betray Freddie's trust, and Freddie is therefore more likely to give me his jury vote.
I'm going to have to be able to convince Ben that I'm going to take him to final 2 so that he acts on the poll in a way that means Freddie will also let go, so that I have immunity. I have the full power in that vote, and I can take who I want. Now, I think it's going to be Freddie, because I promised Freddie first. This has been like almost 2 months in the making, this final thing. And I'm really sorry, Ben. I'm going to have a message prepared for Ben to send to him and be like, hey, Ben, I'm really sorry. I promised Freddie I'd take him to final 2 first, and I did everything in my power to make sure that would happen.
Robin has asked me to basically let her win, and Robin has convinced Ben that if he goes out first and lets her win, she will take him to the end, which is crazy.
This is by far my best route to the final, outside of just outlasting everybody and then taking Robin. And quite frankly, I don't think I can do that, because I don't think Freddie will let go, like at all, until I do. And I don't want to let go until he does. So we would be there for hours on hours on hours. This way, it doesn't have to be hours. Robin needs to convince Freddie that if Robin wins, she'll take Freddie to the final. So then I'll let go, Freddie will let go to let Robin win, and then Robin will actually take me to the final. And Freddie will be okay with letting Robin win, because he will see it as his best route to winning the overall thing, because that way he hasn't had to betray me. And he recognizes that his best case scenario is Robin winning as well in terms of getting jury votes.
Statistically, most people who win the show did not win with the final immunity challenge, like with them going in with immunity. Obviously some people do, but a lot of people haven't. I've done my research, Zan. I'm taking this very seriously. And so I think the fact that I'm willing to be like, I'm sacrificing my place as a winner to take you to the final 2. I'm hoping that gets some trust. I now have the job. I'm tasked with the challenge of convincing Freddie to let go of that poll. I'm telling you now that I think you should let go after Ben lets go first. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be like to Freddie, I'm gonna be like, you have to trust me as the final move. If you let go, you know that I will take you to final 2, and I will.
I mean, she's told me all of this. I'm putting a lot of trust in Robin here, in assuming that she'll stick to her word.
Once Ben has let go,
Yeah.
give it like 5 minutes.
That's the moment where I relax.
Once Ben has let go, I promise you we're in the clear.
Yeah.
It will be like we can both be like, oh my god, we've done it. This only works if 2 people 100% believe that I'm going to take them to final 2, and I think I've put in enough effort on both sides.
As soon as he goes, I will go let Robin win the challenge, and then if things go as I'm expecting, that's a final 2.
Well, whilst you were doing your vote, he said something like, I'm sure we can find a way to not make it last too long.
The plan is in place. From what I can gather from Robin's ramblings, I do love her, she's great, but she rambles. She's convinced Freddie of basically the same plan as she's convinced me.
I've told Freddie not to speak to Ben and Ben not to speak to Freddie. Out of fear on both sides, it would put one wrong move. In theory, if they don't speak to each other, it should be fine. However, Freddie is about to go microwave his dinner in Ben's flat, which is news to me. They're gonna talk, potentially about this. I haven't thought this through, but I did think it through. I did. I just didn't cater for Freddie Peach cooking his fucking dinner in Ben's flat. The one invariable I didn't crack.
So Freddie just came round to my flat before we go and do the final challenge. The final challenge is an endurance one, and I shared a beer with him. So now he really likes me, and now we're both gonna need to piss probably. And who isn't gonna need to pee? Robin. And who does Ben want to win? Robin. Good, great move.
Yeah. What did they speak about? Did they speak about anything? In theory, neither of them should have brought it up. I'm so legitimately stressed. God, I'm so stressed. But if I manage to outsmart them, I feel like I would have played the players. trying to bring it home for the girls, do you know what I mean? I don't want to see a man win this. The men in this game have been far too confident for my liking.
She's, I guess, telling both of us, oh, I promise, you're the one that I'm being truthful with. So I'm just taking that gamble and I'm believing her, I'm trusting her. My fate is entirely in Robin's hands. I will let go of that pole first. I'm hoping Freddie will follow, and then I give an impassioned speech tomorrow. I pour my heart out, I push moral consistency, not integrity, moral consistency, because I accept that I've been a less moral player than Robin, but I've been a more morally consistent player. I've never tried to play both sides. So my moral consistency and then my strategic gameplay, I firmly believe I played the best game. I think I've played a better game of Survivor than Robin. So I've got to push that and trust and hope that people see it. I think Robin's more likeable. I think Robin will get points simply for being a friendlier character. But I think I have her on moral consistency and strategic prowess. And I would say that that's what deserves to win the game of Survivor.
The thing that's weighing on my chest is that I'm going to have to actively betray Ben. It's so bad. It's so bad.
I'm feeling better than I was before I spoke to Robin.
I promised Freddie first. And I've done everything in my power to make sure that it's me and Freddie in that final two. I won't stop fighting until it is. I just promised Freddie and I've got this far now. So I think it has to be me and Freddie, I think.
But now the likelihood of me coming second or first is much higher. So we shall see what happens.
God, I feel like it's the absolute worst. I have felt ill for so long, and no matter what happens tomorrow, at least it's all going to be over. It's all going to be over. Tomorrow night I can finally sleep again, and I am so excited. It's been like 2 months of just like constant paranoia, feeling slightly ill at all times, never quite safe, never quite comfortable or confident. Now it's like unbearable. The merge has been unbearable, and it has been so enduring, like it's been so ongoing.
The only way this messes up is if he does it with Marie.
I will speak to him on the poll. I will
Okay.
speak to him on the poll.
Okay.
It was just a game. It was just a silly game.
Alright, we've made it to the final immunity challenge. Are you guys ready to see who will be guaranteed a spot in the final two and the chance to plead their case to the jury? Let's do it. We have come back to where we first began our season, underneath the big torch, fitting for a season of Survivor, and this challenge is a test of willpower. You will each stand one hand on the pole, and the last person holding onto the pole wins immunity. So are you guys ready to get into it? Let's get started. Are you guys ready for your final immunity challenge? Let's do it. Everyone, place your hand on the pole. Why did I do that? 3, 2, 1. This challenge has started. Everyone has their hand on the pole and are ready to try and stand for as long as they can. Yeah, I know.
Am I right in assuming there has to be a point of contact between your hand and the thing?
Yeah.
So I could take a finger off, for instance, while I'm studying.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something. What should we have a chat about?
So funny, he has this song that came out 2 days ago that went, my psalm is my psalm, and my wife is my wife.
Worse than the hand
my
thing.
Life. I play it like 3 times a day. I like wake up and I like hear my psalm. Also, what is the other one he did? Oh, he does.
Oh, dude.
It's like
Robin's strategy is just
To
annoy
talk
us.
her opponents off of the pole.
Fine.
Legs, what spider?
It's like that spider poem that like it's called like 10 legs that ain't broken, but it's talking about being like, I hope that if I was small, like I hope
have
one
seen
day
this.
no one punishes me for the crime of being small. And it's like
Oh yeah.
The second.
Oh, I just stubbed my toe so bad.
no.
And stubs his toe.
The worst one for me
But
was
he
the
keeps his
second one,
hand.
which was here. Can't do this. My left arm's very weak.
You've been going for 20 minutes.
Halfway in between us. That's fine.
And Alton Towers, we're obsessed with Wiki M. If you love Wiki, Wiki loves you. Wicker Man.
No, the
Wiki
right.
M. We're
Wiki
obsessed.
M.
We said if you love Wiki, Wiki loves you. He gives. You get back what you give.
What are you talking
It's,
about?
Wicker
it's a
Man.
fantastic roller coaster.
Yeah. And
How's everyone
Sugar
feeling?
Day,
So
Sugar
good.
Donut.
I'm
Absolutely
loving
fine. My
this.
legs are really
I go
sore,
for
but I'm kind
years.
of just powering through and kind of lingering. Get my thumb on.
Oh my god, what's their name?
How much longer are we thinking of staying here, guys?
My legs are a bit sore, but I could probably go for a decent part.
I look, I will hold on as long as I need to, but I'd rather this doesn't go on all
My
night.
hand's extremely cold. What? How do you know? It's not visibly cold.
We're about to
It's
come
not
up to
blue.
the hour mark.
Are we? No, stop.
Wait,
you're having
how
it.
long? How long until we get to the hour?
10 minutes.
Oh, then I'll wait.
I think we get to the hour and then we.
I'll get to the hour and then I'll reassess my situation.
I will probably have to pee at some point, but for now we're staying strong.
You've
Oh
made
my
it an
God, I thought
hour
I
and
saw a
5
ghost.
minutes.
I thought I saw a ghost.
I actually quite enjoyed this. I don't know how you guys are feeling. I could do this for another couple hours.
I would
I
do it
don't
if I
think
had to.
I'm going to do it for another couple of hours.
And Ben is the first out of the challenge.
Oh shit.
He does not get immunity. And it is down to Freddie and Robin.
Yo. Well, that's interesting.
Alright, what are you going to do?
I'm not sure either of them are going to take me to the final, so my only chance was to outlast them both. And as soon as Freddie said that he could go on for hours, it became a futile pursuit, really, unless I was going to outweigh him. So,
Alright. I'm getting quite cold. And my leg is very sore.
What do you want me to say? Like, is that
No,
like,
don't
what-
say anything.
I've meant everything.
I'd like to see Robin in the final.
And Freddie, after an hour and 10 minutes, Freddie takes his hand off the pole and Robin wins final immunity and a
Robin,
chance
you're
to
in the
plead her
final.
case to the jury.
Oh!
Robin has made it to the final two. You've done it.
Well done, Robin.
Hello.
Hello.
We've just come back from the challenge.
We've made it.
We've done it.
Yeah.
The final play worked. Ben trusted me.
We just appreciate that you and I have everything we've done has gone perfectly
For 9 weeks basically.
for the whole merger and some stuff before the merger as well.
So the plan worked. I got immunity, and at first I felt like overwhelming joy because I was like, I cannot believe this plan I concocted in my head worked. I cannot believe that something I did worked this well. It felt like the final gameplay from me. I have it here. First of all, let's give credit where credit's due. Ben did so much. Like, we wouldn't be here without Ben.
No, absolutely.
But also as well, I think we haven't given ourselves enough credit for some of the stuff.
Yeah, some of it was pretty.
Because I
dubious.
think fundamentally, getting control of Ben
Yeah,
was how we got control of the whole game.
absolutely.
Glenn came up with a strategy for getting Toby out, and Toby was the pivotal moment. But you were the one that leaked the information that allowed us to get Toby out.
Yeah.
And I was the one that convinced Toby that I was going to take him to final two,
Yeah.
which is what fundamentally meant he didn't protect himself.
Yeah, I know. When Ben said earlier he felt like that was his, I was like, well, hold on.
I was
Couldn't
like,
have
that's
done it
not
without us.
your
Thank you very
dad.
much.
Because this is what I think is that's why we worked so well, is we each had a role.
Yeah.
Like, you as the mole was a genius move
Yeah.
because the way, if without your information, without, like on both ends, leaking stuff to us and leaking stuff to them,
Yeah.
it was so strategic and so calculated.
Yeah, it was perfect because we had me on the new Vibe Tribe P side. We had Ben
And that was a
on
stroke
the
of luck.
NFT
We
side.
couldn't have, like, that was
Yeah,
an
yeah.
absolute stroke of luck.
But like, because we had the sources on both sides, and then you kind of playing in between. Like, it was, we each had a role, and it all worked out perfectly.
Yeah. Ben has now texted me and asked me to. He said he's not mad, but if I'm gonna vote him out, he wants me to tell him in person. The key with Ben was to make Ben think that the power sat between me and him, and really the power sat between me and you, and that's how we've gotten this far.
Yeah.
Because Ben has thought that the power was with me and Ben.
Yeah.
This is by far the hardest thing I've done so far in this game, and I feel like utter shit because Ben has been such a good friend. Through this whole game, I feel like I've made a completely new friend in Ben. He has come up with some genius ideas. I completely acknowledge that the fact that I'm here right now is because of Ben. He is the loveliest guy. He's very sweet, incredibly intelligent. And I'm now gonna have to text him and tell him that I fucked him over. I think he's gonna be fuming at me.
It's possible.
Yeah, he's
But
not
the
really
thing is,
happy.
anything he says bad about you can also be applied to me.
Yeah, but you didn't promise him that you were gonna take him to finals.
Well, that's true. Robin says it's the kinder thing to do to let him think he's in the clear until the tribal council, which is interesting because then it's going to blindside him.
That is the hardest thing I'm ever gonna have to do this game, and I'm crafting a message to him now.
Final challenge completed. I'm not quite sure how to feel. It kind of went exactly according to plan, in that I lasted for a little while, dropped my hand, I think believably, and Freddie followed suit, and Robin won, and now Robin chooses.
My brain is currently contemplating betraying Freddie because I can't betray Ben, but I can't betray Freddie. I can't betray Freddie.
When you said the idea of letting Ben go out first and me go out, and so he thinks whatever, I was like, hold on, what if this is a play to get me out? And I thought, there's not been a single week where you haven't told me the exact truth. So there's no reason to stop believing you now, when given that you've been 100% honest with me this whole time. I just have to trust you in this.
She's given me assurances. She said, Ben, I'm 100% taking you, I promise. But I know she'll be saying the same things to Freddie.
Oh, fuck, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
I rate my chances slightly higher than Freddie. I do believe and I do trust Robin, and all the things she said to me make sense. But I know she'll be saying those same things, or at least things that make just as much sense, to Freddie. I'm really nervous. I'm really nervous. I hope she takes me. If she doesn't, I think Freddie will win this. If she does, I think it's anyone's game, so I think it makes sense for her to do so. I hope she recognises that if she takes Freddie, she will lose.
It would be incredibly cruel of me to do that to Freddie. Incredibly cruel. I've just told him to write his speech. I might be like, hey Ben, my head's all over the place right now. Can we talk in the morning? That's so cruel. God, I'm such a dick. I'm such a dick.
I'm just very glad Freddie didn't win the challenge, because if he did, there's no way he'd have taken me. Oh, I'm really nervous.
He wants me to take him. Ben is fighting for his place as much as I am. But I can't bear the thought that this whole time Freddie was just taking me to beat me. I need to sleep on it. I need to call my mum first thing.
One vote, one name. Robin, to decide the fate of Survivor.
Yeah, I could just... Okay.
Okay. Well, we're back. The scene of our first ever joint confessional
Yeah.
many weeks ago,
Wait, you told me about Freddie.
where I told you about Freddie. Yeah,
So Ben and I called last night.
we did. And
And-
I kind of outlined my pitch to Robin,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll outline it better now that
Okay.
I've had time to mull it over. So, I think, Robin, that you have played your own and Freddie's game this entire game very successfully, and that it's time for you to just play your own game. If you continue to play Freddie's game as well, then you take him to the final, and I think you'll lose. I don't think there's any scenario where you beat Freddie in the final, and I think most people will recognise that, and as a result, vote for Freddie. And I think you need to be selfish, and you don't... I know you think you owe Freddie, and you need to take him because you promised him final 2, but you repaid his loyalty with the Owen vote out. You repaid his loyalty with the idol in the first place. You've repaid his loyalty this entire time, keeping him going. And from a personal, selfish perspective, I feel it's time you repaid my loyalty. I've kept you in this whole time as well. I've promised you final 2. I went through with the plan, even though it put me at more risk because I let go before Freddie. And I stayed true to that. And I think from my game plan now expects you to repay that favour. I understand if you don't, but I would hope that if you vote Freddie, please do it for selfish reasons, and please do it because you think you'll beat him, and please don't do it because you think you owe him something.
Yeah.
Because from my perspective, you owe me as much, if not more, as you do Freddie.
And I agree that I owe you two a lot, and I am incredibly also grateful that I didn't know how to say it over text.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to sound like, you know, like a bit of a dick, but I can't tell you how grateful I am that you let go and that you put that trust in me there, and that there is so much that I am thankful for there, Ben. I agree with everything that you're saying, and
I just want you to make a game decision, and I hope that you understand that if you make the final with Freddie, you will lose. If you make the final with me, it's even. There's as much a chance.
What makes you so certain that I'm going to lose against Freddie?
I'll vote for him because I'll feel like you betrayed me.
Mm-hmm. But that was always, like, I always knew you'd vote for Freddie if I betrayed you.
Yes. Owen will vote for him because he'll feel like you sold him out. Freddie got Owen out, but because the other option was Freddie going out. You sold Owen out, and he knows that. Ollie will vote for Freddie because for the same reason as Owen. Tilly will probably vote for Freddie. Tilly's up in the air, Will's up in the air, and then Lizzie, Nogga, and Phoebe don't think that you betrayed him, then don't think that Freddie betrayed them, will vote for Freddie. It's me, it's so split, and I couldn't call it. Freddie will win. Freddie will win. The people who have gone out, who is now sitting on the jury, Freddie has voted with them, almost entirely the case. And those who haven't are probably more annoyed with you than they are with Freddie.
Yeah, I know that.
But Ben said that if I take Freddie, he will have to vote for Freddie. But Ben is incredibly clever.
The only reason he agreed to this plan is because he felt it makes it advantageous because he doesn't have to betray me. He wants you to betray me so that he gains my vote, which he would. Freddie's game has been near perfect. The only mistake in his game is letting you hold the cards here because you now have the opportunity to see that he'd win if he got there and stop it before it happens.
I think everything Ben said was very fair, and I get why he said it. But Ben's misunderstood me and my gameplay if he thinks that in any way if I take Freddie I lose. Because for me I don't. That was never the game I was playing. I was playing, can I get Freddie to final 2? It's the game I've played for 9 weeks. And whatever happens tonight, I'm not going to give up on that game now.
On the way to the final tribal now. The challenge yesterday went exactly to plan, I think. I'm relying on Robin here, but she's given me no reason not to trust her so far. So it would be a crazy move if she turned around and went against me now.
I don't know if I'm going to win if I take Freddie. I don't know. And maybe I'm an absolute idiot. And maybe right now you're sitting here and you're being like, Robin, don't do it, don't take Freddie. You're pleased, but I'm not that certain I'll beat against Ben either. I'm not that certain I'll win against him.
Well, it would make it way more interesting because, believe me, Freddie would beat you quite comfortably.
I know.
So I really hope you make the decision based on gameplay.
Okay. I'm going to go for a long walk round and go back to this lake. Okay. Thanks, Ben, though. I really appreciate it.
Final 3. Freddie Peach, Ben Corbett, and Robin Hunter.
I've actually got one in my bag, so we can both go.
We will now bring in the members of our jury. Owen, Lizzie, Nogga, and Toby. Alright, final 3. Robin, congratulations on winning immunity. You lasted an hour and 10 minutes. How does it feel to have a confirmed spot in the final 2?
Well, I think it's a blessing and a curse because you have a guaranteed spot in the final, but at what cost?
What is the cost?
Having to vote out a friend.
Yeah, so Freddie, what have you done to try and convince Robin to keep you? Your fate, she will be casting the sole votes tonight.
Yeah. I haven't done loads, if I'm honest. I'm just hoping that, I mean, we've kind of worked together for a lot of this game. I'm hoping that she'll see that and take me, but I won't be, if I got to go out, I'm glad it's to Ben and I can live with that, yeah.
Ben, same question.
I think I echo the sentiment that if I don't mind anyone taking my spot, it's Freddie at this stage. But I think that I've made my case as well as I can do. It's completely in Robin's hands now, and if she deems me the best strategic person to take to the final, then I trust her decision. If not, then I trust her decision regardless.
Robin, how hard has this decision been for you?
That's a very loaded question. Like, very difficult, because it's meant that a strategy I've been playing for the past 10 weeks, I finally now have to act out, and it's a lot harder to do that than I thought it would be 10 weeks ago.
So Freddie, what would it mean for you to get to the final travel?
It would be pretty awesome. I didn't expect to make it this far, but I'm glad I have. Like, it's been a lot of fun, and I think I've done pretty well so far. I mean, you know, got this far. So it'd be nice to be able to make my case to everyone else, and you know, winning would be awesome. But if I'm going to lose, I don't know, one of these two is going to win, so that I'm also kind of fine with it.
Ben, how about you?
Our game plan as a 3 was always to get to final 3 together, and we did that. So our version of the game that we set out a few weeks ago, we've effectively won. It's now a bonus which one of us makes it those steps further. So it doesn't bother me hugely if I'm the bottom of this 3, but obviously it would be amazing to have my trust repaid and to make it those steps further.
Well, Robin, do you have any final words before I ask you to go and vote?
They're not voting at all.
No?
Well, because we'd have to vote for each other, wouldn't we?
Cancel that.
I think my final words are just that this is the hardest decision, and I've loved every second of playing the game with both of you. And I'm so sorry for what I'm about to do, but there was nothing either of you that you could have done to change my mind. I know what I was going to do a long time ago.
Alright, it's time to vote. Robin, you're up.
I spoke to Ben about 10 minutes ago, and Ben said to me that I would be an idiot to take Freddie with me to the final 2, because if I take Freddie, then I've been played by Freddie. The problem is that Ben has totally misunderstood and misread my game plan. The plan was always to get to final 2 with Freddie, and that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I set out to do. I don't know if I win against either of them. I really don't. I've been in this game with Freddie from the beginning. Freddie has been the person I trusted all along.
I'll read the vote. been a good 61 days. One of you has just been voted out. Let's get to it. The 16th person voted out of Survivor Warwick, Roots of War. Ben. That's one, that's enough. Your
So
thoughts?
sorry, you just never quite got the game when I spoke to you. You didn't still understand it.
Okay, man. I'll see you later.
I had the best time today, to be honest. I know.
Ben, the tribe has spoken. Woo! Well, you've made it to the final two. You will both have your chance to plead to the jury your case to win Survivor Warwick, Roots of War, and the £100. Robin, you've made your decision. Let's see if it pays off. Have your stuff, and I'll see you tonight.
I don't know what you want me to say. It's a shame. I think Robin made the wrong decision. She lied to me a lot. I trusted her. I put everything into trusting her. I repaid her belief, and I went with the game plan that she and I enacted yesterday. I took my hand off before Freddie. I showed more faith in her than Freddie did, and she stabbed me in the back, and she promised me we were final two, and I think she's made the wrong call. I will be campaigning heavily for Freddie to win because I think he deserves it more than Robin. He's played a game that hasn't betrayed me, at least. Wish Robin all the best in the vote, and I still love her to death. She's great, but this was the wrong decision. Okay, that's it.
Here we are, after 2 months of working with Robin to get to the final together. It's finally all paid off.
Hello. This is my final, probably, confessional. Me and Freddie made it to final two. I can't believe it, but we did it. I can't believe we did it, but we made it to final two.
Before the show started, right, I thought if I can get myself to the final, then I would do whatever it takes to win. All I wanted was to win. And now I'm at the final, and that killer instinct is kind of gone. Like, I really wouldn't be upset if Robin won. Which is crazy because I'm so competitive usually. Obviously I still love to win, it'd be great, but we've worked to this together for so long that like I've kind of already won in my book.
But you know, Freddie and I have been in this together since day one. We have, well, really since week 2, we've sort of quietly dominated the game, and then post-merge, that was when we really came to life. I wouldn't have wanted to play this game with anyone else, like anyone else. It really was, God, I had the time of my life playing it with Freddie, I really did.
So I've won already in my book. I've done exactly what I set out to do. And if I win the final, that's the cherry on top. But if Robin wins, I will be nothing but happy for it.
I spoke to Freddie on the phone this afternoon, and he was like, we can just breathe now, we did it. And I'm like, this is so true. But I don't think I realised how much I wanted to win until I got here. The thing is that this vote could be very much out of my hands. I'm really hoping I've done enough, but I also think if the jury have decided to vote Freddie because they've decided to vote Freddie, then there is absolutely nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do at this point. Freddie has been so protected because no one quite knows the extent to which he betrayed everyone. Me and Freddie had the exact same game plan all along, but Freddie has been protected. I don't want to throw Freddie under the bus, but I feel like it's the only way to protect myself because Lizzie, Nogga and Phoebe still have pre-existing, I think Ben was telling the truth there, they still have pre-existing alliances, I think, to Freddie on the basis that he never betrayed them. But he did. That's the insane thing, is that he did.
This is our celebration of how well we've played this game. And it might come back to bite us, you know, when people find out the degree of control that we've had throughout. They might be a bit upset, but their own fault for not playing the game as well as us, as far as I'm concerned.
If it's on gameplay, Freddie wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. So I'm hoping I can beat him at that. I think I played the best game. I don't know. If I lose to anyone, I'm glad it's gonna be Freddie, but I have this insane, like, I think overwhelming need to like win.
It's gonna be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it, and if I win, that's awesome, and if I don't, honestly, that's fine.
And now we will now bring in our jury. Owen, Lizzie, Toby, Nogga, Phoebe, Tilly, Ben and Connie. We have Will and Ollie online, unable to make it, but they are here and they are listening. Right. Welcome to the final, welcome jury. You know, this is the chance for you to plead your case and explain why you deserve to win the £100. Right.
Whoa.
Thank you, Ollie. We will start with opening speeches.
Hello, jury, miss you all. I'm going to start my speech with a confession, which might not even be a confession because it seems like everyone knows everything now. But in week 2, Robin and I made a pact to take each other to the final 2, which we have done. Generally speaking, the two of us have worked pretty closely to ensure we were in a good position in each tribal, and as a result, I don't think we really went into any of the tribals feeling genuinely threatened, and that's kind of how we've managed to get this far. I don't think anyone's given Robin enough credit for how well she's played this game, because like she has seriously, she's got all of you, you know, like she has done fantastically well, and people don't seem to have realised that, so I just wanted to give her the credit. Together with Ben, the three of us have worked pretty closely throughout the merge. It happened exactly as we wanted, so in a sense that kind of felt like the victory on its own. But what wasn't common knowledge so much was that Robin and I pretty much orchestrated almost every vote after the merge, exactly as, I mean, there were a couple where I didn't feel like it was exactly what I wanted, as I've said, but on the whole, we pretty much ran most of the votes post-merge. I know there's a huge amount of respect for Ben's game, which is warranted, because if he was in this final, honestly, I'd say he probably deserves to win. I think he got unlucky towards the end and he really killed it. But Robin and I getting to the final 2 was our game plan from pretty much the start, like from week 2. Where I feel like my game was the most successful is that I kept a lot of people on side throughout, and like if something had gone wrong with Robin and I, you know, I had other alliances which I felt equally comfortable in, I think could have been equally successful. It is, you know, things just went this way, and you know, that just happened to be how it went. And there are others that I really enjoyed playing this game with, and like I think that's the biggest takeaway for me from getting to the final, is that I've had so much fun getting to know a lot of you, playing and strategizing and spending time with you guys. Like some of you I'd never met before this, and I've really enjoyed getting to know you, and others who I'm already, you know, close friends with, and it's just been a lot of fun. But by maintaining numerous allies throughout the game and eliminating the big threats, like Owen and Toby sat at the front there, I've managed to bring myself to the end in pretty much exactly the way that I planned to. And in that sense, I consider myself to have played the game the most successfully of anyone, and that is my bid for your votes.
All right, Robin.
I thought long and hard about what I was going to say to you guys today. I'm completely aware that the reason I'm standing here is because I have betrayed all of you at some point in this, some way or another. And I'm genuinely very sorry. 10 minutes before the final tribal council this morning, I had one last conversation with Ben. And Ben told me, on no uncertain terms, that were I to take Freddie to the final 2 today, I would lose. I would perhaps get 2 votes maximum. I asked him why. He said that it's because if I take Freddie will have played a better game than me. Freddie will have played me. In week 1, we all made the choice to play the game. Can I survive Survivor? By the end of week 2, I decided that I was going to stop playing that, because by the end of week 2, I'd formed a secret final 2 alliance with Freddie. But it was more than what Freddie thought it was. I wasn't just playing with Freddie, I decided that instead I was going to play Can I Get Freddy to Survive Survivor? For the past 9 weeks, I have done everything in my power to protect Freddy, no matter what, no matter how, putting him first at all times. It meant dumbing myself down, finding Freddy's idol for him, betraying friends, lying to people I love, and putting myself on the line time and time again. Freddy and I would decide on votes together and ensure that they would work without Freddy ever having to write down the name of his alliances. But if the NFT vote taught me anything, one wrong move and Freddy would be a goner, and I was happy to put myself on the line, knowing I could more comfortably avoid elimination, because I didn't know if I could save an idol as Freddy if the tribe turned on him again. To be honest, it was exhausting. It's hard enough playing the game for yourself, but someone else, oh my gosh. It meant completely turning on absolutely everyone bar Freddy. People who trusted us completely, and I'm so sorry. The hardest thing I did was forming a faux Final 2 alliance with Ben to get us to the Final 3. If I got Ben, one of the most powerful and brilliant players in the game, to think the power sat with myself and him, when really it sat with myself and Freddy, I knew Freddy and I would be fine. I knew we'd make it through. To ensure Freddy and I's place for Final 2, I constructed a plan 1 week ago to get Ben to let go of the pole first. It meant having to put the long-term faux alliance and the weeks of effort I spent convincing him of it to the test. And somehow it managed to work. Ben, I'm really sorry I had to turn on you today. It was by far the hardest thing I'd done in this game, and I hope you know I had the time of my life playing alongside you, genuinely. You really were just a phenomenal player. So why did I do it? I've kind of set Freddy up perfectly to win. In fact, Freddy and I joked last night that after spending 9 weeks as partners in crime, we had the exact same amount of blood on our hands. The only difference was that through my gameplay, Freddy was afforded the privilege of gloves to hide behind. If I hadn't played for Freddy completely, I wouldn't be standing here today. If I lose tonight, I couldn't be happy to see a friend like Freddy win. The thing is, I spent the past 9 weeks trying to get to the Final 2 with Freddy because I knew if I formed a truly unwavering, under-the-radar alliance that had connections on both sides of the tribe, therefore granting us pretty solid protection, I would be able to stay in the game. A game that brought me so much joy with people I totally adored. I was willing to do anything just to stay 1 week longer. The silliness of Survivor ultimately saved me from a lot of different emotional turmoil this term, and I was so eternally grateful. Ben, you got my game plan wrong entirely, because I wasn't fighting to win. I was just fighting to play. So please ask me anything you want and I'll tell you the full truth, just as I have now. I have nothing left to hide.
So, I really thought I knew who I was going to vote for when I came today, but now I don't feel entirely sure because of a lot of information that obviously you've just said, but the Puppet Master did tell me earlier, so I feel like a lot of light has been shed on the game and how you guys have played, and hats off, because good job. You've done really well. I totally get that it's a game, and I've been such a big advocate for that, but I would be lying if I didn't say I was kind of upset. I've been a bit of a puppet, and I probably look like a bit of a dickhead right about now. And I totally get that that's literally the name of the game, so I completely get it. But that's just how I feel. Would like to ask Freddie, you said that some of the votes didn't go the way that you wanted them to.
Yeah.
But you didn't know that I was leaving.
So for the vote when you went, I had a good idea that you were going, and I tried pretty hard to change it. But by the time the vote came around, I kind of recognised there wasn't really anything I could do to save you. Maybe I should have told you, like, saving from me blindside is. But I really tried to convince people to keep you in, and that didn't work. But.
Is that true, Robin?
The reason why you went out the week you did is because Freddie didn't want to write your name down, but you were always going to go.
That's also true. When I kind of realised that there wasn't a way that you were going to get to the end because people knew that you were a big threat, that knew that everyone loved you and that you'd probably win in the end. So it kind of became clear that you weren't going to make it to the final. I couldn't bring myself to vote you out.
Would you say that that's maybe a cop-out?
Yeah, it absolutely is. It was more for me than for you, for sure. Like I just, because you're one of my closest friends, I couldn't bring myself to actually vote for you.
Okay, so Freddie, I love you a lot. You are a great friend, and this game does not change how I feel about either of you. I do love you both a lot as people. I think there are reasons to vote for both of you. Freddie, you're just
a very lovable guy. But I'm also nothing if not a feminist. And I believe in powerful women running the game. And I will totally take that into account when I vote.
Thank you, Lily. Will?
Right. Okay.
Are you ready?
You ready? Right, okay, first of all, congratulations both of you guys for getting to the final. I've been following it closely from updates from Zam. Both of you, I've got on with you very well. And it's going to be a very tough vote for me because both of you guys I got on with quite well from the start. Made me feel quite welcome. One question that I'd like to ask both of you. How you mentioned about the pact, was that a pact that stood through every single vote? Did you guys liaise with each other on every single vote? I'd like to say I was quite clued up. I did not have a clue that you guys had a pact at all. And I thought I knew everything that was going on. So that's my question to both of you.
Yeah, post-merge, we kind of we knew what each other was going to do throughout.
We realised that if we stayed in the middle, then we'd always be swing votes, and that way we'd have power. And so I think it's fair to say that I felt like we voted together the entire way through, even when we were on separate tribes.
Okay, no worries. Thanks, guys.
I didn't really know either of you before this game. I don't really know a lot of people, but the person I did really get to know in the game was Lizzie, who I'm a huge fan of, and became very close with. I'm grateful for her in this game. She made me feel at ease because she also had a lot of close friends in this game. The top 2 or 3 of which I would say without a doubt included the both of you. And at every single turn, whenever I thought, I don't know if Freddie's in the right, or I really, really wanted Robin gone, she said, no, I'd like to save them because I care about them so much. And I have to say that whilst I understand the concept of survivor, I think it was an unnecessarily cruel move to use possibly your closest friend, or the person who cared about you the most in this game, as the biggest puppet. And I think that was unjust out of everyone. And I think it was wrong of you to not tell her that she was going, to not offer her the same decency that Ben offered Tilly when Tilly was going. Frankly, I do know where I'm voting today, because Robin, honestly, I didn't really see the point in the fake lying and deception, like the panicked card that you kept playing. Freddie made us feel at ease. He was really good at lying because he genuinely never made us doubt him. He never made us feel stressed or panicked unnecessarily, which frankly didn't help the position and made you into more of a marginalised swing vote. And yeah, you've said that you've done that to protect Freddie, but I don't think you played anywhere near as good as game. You barely played a game at all because everyone knew that you couldn't be trusted. And I think the speech that you've given today, you've been playing the same panicked card that you've done repeatedly when you've come to me and said, oh, I'm really paranoid, oh, I've done this because I'm panicked, oh, I've done that. I think you're doing it to get like the sympathy trust vote, and I don't think it worked for you so far, which I think is a shame, because you made great moves. Like, you really did. Like, the pact that you guys had was brilliant. Like, I've never seen Survivor, but this must be how you play the game. And I have one last question. You mentioned that the votes didn't always go your way, but you orchestrated basically every single vote. So what didn't go your way and why?
So the primary one is that I didn't want to lose Lizzie. Because there were the two, I was kind of a member of 2 alliances throughout. I was with you guys, and then I had Robin and Ben. And it made more sense for me personally to stick with them because I knew that it would get me far, but it didn't feel good doing it, if that makes sense. But I wasn't trying to use Lizzie for my own gain. I wanted to keep Lizzie in because I wanted Lizzie to stay in. Because, I mean, like, people could have gone for Lizzie way earlier, and I stopped Lizzie from being voted for a few times earlier on. For instance, I knew that Phoebe was going out when she went out because, like, Ben had spoken to me, and, like, I knew there was nothing I could do to stop that. And again, like, that's not normal. Maybe I should have said something beforehand. I would have been happier going elsewhere, but I recognised that it was best for me. So within the context of the game, I kind of just had to firm it, if that makes sense.
Okay. Would have, could have, should have. Hindsight is obviously a bitch, but I'd like to remind everybody involved and the jury as well that honesty goes a long way, and I do believe we should be rewarding who owns up to their game the best. I don't think it's been clear which way that's gone so far. Anyway, I wanted to start off my speech with something different, and that's an apology, specifically to Nogga, Lizzie, Phoebe and Freddie, but to Zan and anyone else it applies to. When I got voted out, I was rude. Quite a bit. I acted out of character and I was very angry and upset. I just want to say that wasn't me. I'm very embarrassed, and I'm sorry to anyone that I may feel uncomfortable, because I know I did make people feel uncomfortable. And I took my vote out, probably the worst out of everyone. And to be honest, it was really hard. But I got over it and I knew I was being silly. I'd like to remind the rest of the jury now that whilst emotions are fresh, please take my journey as a lesson to be kind and respectful to both Robin and Freddie. They both played good games, and even though both of you had a lot to do with me being axed, I don't think it's deep. I hope the rest of the jury can follow that example also. Playing the middleman in Survivor is good. Playing the middleman is strong, and it is the best position to be in at all time. And I don't think it's fair to discount Robin playing as the middleman in all of the votes, because I personally think that is the best position to be in, and you were in the middleman all of the time, so hats off to both of you. Secondly, what moves can you say you definitively made on your own that got you to this position? Not anybody else, you. What did you do?
Well, I tipped off Freddie.
Yeah.
Categorically Freddie would not be here if I had not tipped him off. I tipped him off. I convinced Toby that I would take him to final two, which is what solidified you playing Lizzie. I also, as well, I got Ben out last night. I'm so sorry, Ben. I did get you out last night. I'm sorry.
I voted for Charlie in week 1. I don't know if that's common knowledge yet or not, but I voted for Charlie knowing that he would freak out and do something a bit nuts. Where I think that I did the best to get myself here was by not shutting any doors. And it's not like it. Also, the reason I'm kind of proud of that is because not just because I played everyone and cheated my way to the end and made people think I was an ally. I was actually friends with people. I think by keeping my game open and not making it enemies, that's where I think I did myself justice. And that's I only got votes in 2 vote outs the entire game, and 7 of them were in 1 and 1 was in the other.
That's been finished. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So I think both Robin and Freddie deserve to be here. They've both played very, very good games. In terms of the couple questions that I'm going to ask in a minute, they'll probably more relate to Robin, because throughout the game, Robin has been more aligned with me. When Owen was voted out because of Freddie using his idol, was that due to you informing Freddie beforehand that we planned to vote for Freddie?
Yes. I needed Freddie as much as I think maybe if that's right to say Freddie needed me to get through. We both needed each other. I had originally tipped off Freddie to try and get Toby out, that's the truth, because I saw an opportunity, but Freddie was so betrayed by Owen turning against him that Freddie decided to go against Owen, and I went along with that because this is the utmost respect. I think you're brilliant, and I thought you were a brilliant player, and I thought that if there was an opportunity to get a threat out, then I mean it with the utmost respect that I took that opportunity.
Full disclosure, at that time that Owen was voted out, I did have the merge idol and I forgot to bring it to Tribal that week.
Yeah, you did.
Owen was well aware of this at the time and asked me on the way to Tribal, did you bring the idol? No. And he said, for fuck's sake, Oliver. In relation to stuff that was said before, Robin voted for Toby. That was actually a moment of madness. I was like, did you realise that Toby had the immunity? And you were like, no. That, if I remember rightly, that was the week that we had 30 minutes to vote.
Ollie, can you speed up a bit?
But yeah, as much as I've witnessed a lot of Robin's games, I think Freddie has So put in a pretty decent shift the whole time. So well and so effectively is a testament to how far you've got.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah, both of you could win and both of you deserve it.
Okay, I'm gonna start my speech with this. When I did my first interview that we all did with Zach in his room, and he asked us what kind of player are you gonna be? I sat there and I went, do you know what? I'm gonna be snaky, I'm gonna play you, I'm just gonna lie, I'm gonna do all of this, I don't care, it's funny, this is a game. And I genuinely believed that until 2 weeks in, when I realised that doing that, as much as it is so silly, this whole thing is silly, everything that's happening right now, all the emotions are ultimately silly. And I'm sure after this, we're all gonna take a breather. However, in that moment, after we started playing the game, I realised that I personally could not separate my world emotions from my game emotions. This is all my friends. It's actually just hard to genuinely stare your friend in the face and lie to them. And I could not do that. All the stuff I've been hearing, as much as I'm not gonna take it any further than this game, it wasn't hurtful, it was just me wow, okay, maybe these people are a bit more scary than I thought. Seriously. Anyway, I have a question for each of you. I was going to Robin first. When we were sat in the tribal before I got voted out, and a couple of people went up to vote, and then you tapped me on the shoulder and you went, I've got you, don't worry, it's fine. And then you voted for Toby, which meant I left, and I know you knew what that meant. So my question is, why did you reassure me? Why did you try and make me feel comfortable?
The honest truth was that in that moment, I thought I was going to betray. Very briefly, I didn't know how I was going to vote you out. I panicked and I realised the implications of that. It would be a tie. It would have meant I turned on the people I had intentions to go further with in the alliance, and I totally panicked. It was just genuinely a legitimately very stupid 5 minutes, and from the bottom of my heart, I'm very sorry, I shouldn't have done that.
And after that, when you were really upset and going to Lizzie and Nogger and being genuinely very emotionally distressed, was that, what was the reason for that?
The reason for that was that I felt incredibly bad, because I knew I said it to them then, and I said it was my fault.
You felt bad to me?
Yeah, because I'd fucked you over. And I felt incredibly bad, and I wasn't making that up.
Freddie, there was a week where we all got called for separate interviews, with Zan again, the first time. And in those interviews, Zan asked us who our strongest alliance was, and I said you. And then after that, I asked you who you said, and you said that you said me. Is that true, or was that a lie?
So I don't want to big myself up too much, but I consider myself the primary reason you didn't go out and meet too, because everyone saw you as this big threat because you loud, you spoke your mind. People didn't seem to believe that you weren't playing a game and that you were lying, and I just knew that you were being honest, and because I don't think you lied pretty much ever in the process of the game.
I never lied. The one lie I told was not telling Lizzie and Nogger that I was going to vote Chloe out. That's a lie.
Yeah, sure. I wasn't lying when I said I wanted to be in an alliance with you. If I'd said that you were my closest ally, then there were times when I did consider that to be the truth, especially pre-merge. There were times where I was I think Phoebe is actually my biggest alliance, because Rob and I were separated for a while in the different tribes, and when we were in New Vibe tribe, I had you and Lizzie and Nogger, and I was this is a really nice group, I'm glad. The week that you went out, I didn't know you were going out, but I found out in the space of about 5 minutes, and then we had the vote straight away, so I couldn't have saved you at that point, and I didn't vote for you at that point, but I did, so I apologise for not letting you know.
I don't really care about that.
Cool. But yeah, I didn't know you were going out, but like when I said that things didn't go exactly as I wanted, I didn't necessarily want you to go there. So I'm sorry that you did.
Lovely to know. Goodbye.
Thank you, Phoebe.
Okay. See, Freddie, I only got to really know you in the last
Week or two.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, Robin, I kind of was in a half, I guess, alliance with you. I mean, obviously we both didn't trust each other, as was clear from the start. But I'm a bit confused really about which person did most of the planning, because I want to say for at least me and Ben, I always viewed his strategy and planning, and I kind of rode off of that. Thank you, Ben. I want to know kind of more where each of you lie in the whole, which one was making more of the plans, because from what I can understand, it was Freddie who made the plans, or was it more of a conversation between the two of you each time?
I think it would be unfair to say there's anything but 50-50.
Yeah, I would say it was I would say it was 50-50. I would say that once we got into the alliance with Ben, there was, I don't know what you were doing with Ben, but I know I put in like a lot of effort to cement that alliance with Ben so that we I don't know, so we sort of stayed in control of that situation. I would say it was, I think I had control of a lot of the plans, but then also I think Freddie did, so maybe that was, or maybe Freddie thinks he did too, so maybe this is our fault, that we both thought we were in control the whole time, and neither of us were.
I think there were some times when Robin took the leads, and there were some times when I took the leads.
Yeah, I would agree.
Could you be
Because,
more specific?
well, like, so there were certain, so the vote outs like Phoebe, Lizzie, Nogga, where there were people that I considered myself close with, and it's, so what Phoebe said about like finding it difficult to separate the game from real life, I felt that way too to an extent. So like there were some where Robin took the lead more and I felt like a shitty person for going along with it, but it was the best thing for me. And there were other times when I took the lead more and Robin, it was definitely a partnership. It wasn't a leader-follower thing.
Yeah, it depended on the situation.
What are you doing?
First of all, massive congratulations to both of you. You've both played an incredible game. You've both basically played the game that I wanted to play. You know, forming a duo early on, playing the middle, being sneaky about it, not letting anyone know what was going on, and ultimately being at the end together. I basically wanted to do that with Lizzie. Obviously it didn't end up working out, and there was even a stage in the merge where I thought I was going to do it with you, Robin. Yeah, so Survivor is a game all about, you know, lying and manipulating and strategizing, and I truly believe that you two, from what I've heard today, did that pretty much better than everyone else. So either of you would be a worthy winner in my eyes. And there's a bit of a long-running theme in Survivor where a jury member stands up and roasts both of the games of the people sitting in front of them. But I thought I'd let you do that to yourself. So please tell me all of the mistakes and potential weaknesses within your game where, you know, potentially a time you could have gone home or something like that.
Well, the biggest one for me, for sure, was the merge vote. The first vote out after the merge, where if Robin hadn't warned me, I would never have seen it coming. And I kind of played it off like, oh, I just had a suspicion.
Yeah.
That's utter
So you
bollocks.
played that off for you.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, but without Robin telling me then, I would be gone. I don't know if it's a weakness or like where I didn't like my game so much, but I did have a really hard time with a lot of the lying aspects, which obviously that's part and parcel of the game, which isn't nice, but it is the case. I didn't enjoy that at all. It was just kind of like a necessary evil.
The first biggest mistake I made was to do with you, Toby. Voting for you when you were immune was incredibly stupid. It put a target on my back that
Should have given me
followed me for a bit. I think there were like loads of little mistakes that were made along the way where sometimes you accidentally said one thing that you were like, oh, could that have, you know, I think there was a time when I was trying to appease a lot of people because I had a lot of friends in there and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to have to betray a lot of people, and I think that was
maybe a mistake to try and appease so many people, because I think it backfired on me, but it also hurt people. So I sometimes wonder whether I should have played more openly, honestly, but I think my strategy was to fly under the radar, like completely, and to have absolutely every single person underestimate me to get to this point. And I sometimes, I've wondered sitting today whether I did it too well, to the point where I can now justify that I played a very good game, because there's not enough time to explain just everything I did.
Thank you.
I have a lot that I wanted to say. I have a lot that I've thought about saying. And there's a lot that I will say. Not really. I started this game knowing pretty much nobody. I knew one person, and she was on the other tribe. Shout out Tilly. And I decided not to open myself up emotionally to anybody and to play this as cold as possible. And I think I made one true emotional connection that I genuinely trusted and genuinely liked. And
None taken.
well, I didn't trust you at all,
Yeah,
Freddie, and I was right to do so. But I fully, completely trusted Robin, and that was my downfall. And I want you to sit here and look at me, Robin, and I want you to tell me why I can possibly write your name down when I vote for you to win after that.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that as hard as I know you don't believe it right now, but I loved you as a friend too. I really got along with you well. I think because you know why I couldn't take you any further, because you were incredible. You're a brilliant player, and I never would have stood a chance against you today. And maybe what you're saying is true, maybe I don't stand a chance against Freddie, but I think against you in particular, you were brilliant. And I think because you're a good player, I'm not going to look you in the eyes and like implore you, because I know that I really betrayed your trust, and I kind of accepted that by doing what I did, I lost that vote in you. But aside from Freddie, you're the only person who I felt recognised me as a strong player and didn't underestimate me and saw what I had to bring to the game. And I guess the only reason I can think of that you'd write my name down is because as a strong player, you'd understand why I did what I did, because you tried to convince me to take you to Final 2, knowing full well that I would categorically lose against you. And so, in many ways, it was just whoever betrayed the other first. And I'm really sorry it was me first, and I know it was a big betrayal. I hope that you can respect why I did it and know that it came out of, as strange as it sounds, respect for you as a player, because I really did think you were brilliant.
All right.
When I spoke in the beginning and I spoke about everyone and what it had meant for me to be here and why I'd stayed in so long, I really meant that. That wasn't me playing a sympathy vote. I don't think it's any secret that it had been a weird ending for me in term 2, and I came into term 3 not really having a lot of fun to look forward to, and this for me was that fun. Yeah, I was incredibly worried about this final tribal council here. I didn't want to come across as arrogant or conceited, or to see like I was standing here being like, and it's because we're better, because it's not true really. We just stumbled across a lot of luck. I realised pretty early on in this game that a lot of people probably didn't perceive me as a threat, because I come across as a bit silly in social environments. Perhaps if I played up to this persona, perhaps that would be how I hid my gameplay the entire time. I mean, no one saw silly Robin as the weakest, but no one saw her as the strongest either. I think that was evident in touchy subjects. I barely won anything, flying under the radar, kind of like how I hoped. I realised that the key wasn't about appeasing players and getting them to like you, although I did try that too. It was about always letting the other player think that they had the power. As long as they thought they had the power, they'd keep me in. If you can hold the power over the most powerful players in the game, the power of the game sits with you. It's fundamentally how I played Owen, Toby, and my biggest play, Ben. I've reflected a lot about what it means to win today. I meant it when I said that I spent this game fighting to play. That's why I'm here tonight. That is true, but it's also true that I fought to play so I would have a chance to win. And I would actually really love to win, I really would. Not least because it would be nice to win, but also the £100 would go entirely to my Edinburgh Fringe show, and to put it bluntly, we could really use that. £100 would go quite a long way for us, and I have also sort of been playing for us. My God, we're broke. But Ben, when you made it clear last night and this morning that if I took Freddie to the Final 2 today, I would lose, I knew you had sort of misunderstood my game and what I was really playing for. You were wrong, because standing here today, I think I've already won. Oh! I won, getting to spend 10 weeks playing this ridiculous game I fell in love with the most fun-loving, brilliant group of people that I've grown to adore. I won when we filmed that ridiculous movie night and I almost wet myself laughing multiple times. I won when I got put in Fire Tornado and we just had the stupidest few weeks. It was so stupid, but we had the most fun. I won getting to spend time with old friends and then finding new friendships too. I won because at the beginning of this term, I thought there was nothing left for me at this university and you've given me something to miss. And finally, I won. Oh my god, this is so stupid. It's Survivor, it's not that deep. I won getting Freddie to the final 2 like I always planned. I won playing this game alongside a brilliant game player who I'm now lucky enough to call a friend. I won because I really did help Freddie to survive Survivor. Look, at the end of the day, we're all just silly students playing a silly game, and I bear no illusions that I pissed off a lot of people to get here today. On that basis alone, Freddie may just win the popular vote like Bren predicted. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that to stand in front of you and tell you that the friendships I found, the memories I've made, God, it sounds cheesy, but this is legitimately true, and the ridiculous challenges we did along the way come second to 2 words, Soul Survivor. I'd just be lying. Thank you for the best 10 weeks. I really can't have thought of a better way to end my time at uni. I imagine there's not much I can do to sway any of you. You either know where you're voting or you don't. But what I will say is that that was the hardest game I've ever played in my life. I proved a lot to myself that I didn't think I could do, and I think, and I know it sounds conceited, I'm so sorry, Freddie, but I think I played the best game, and the fact that even if you still don't recognise that now, maybe that's kind of the point. Maybe that's why I played the best game, you know?
Freddie?
So I'm not gonna lie, I would love to win this game. It's been the most fun I've had in such a long time, and it's like, I don't think it's much of a secret that I haven't always loved being here, and there are times when I've really not wanted to be here, but this game that we've had playing has just been so much fun, and it's like we've had a purpose for the last term, which is not something I felt like I've had here. So it's just as a first thought, you know, getting to play this with all of you lot has just been the most fun I've had in such a long time, so thank you all. I think I've made my case in the best way I can. If you think I'm the deserving winner, that's great, but I'd be so happy to see Robin win this, because she's right, you have all massively underestimated her. She's not silly Robin. She's right, I think she almost has played a better game than me, because she has kept you all thinking that no, actually she's not doing it, and she is. She masterminded a lot of what went on. I would have loved to have seen Ben win. I've worked with him the last few weeks, it's been so awesome, and he's a really smart dude. However this goes, I'm really happy with how I performed in this. I thought I'd be too nice to be devious and naughty, and actually I've found myself, I've had this killer instinct that I've never really felt before, which is kind of scary. Like, for me, getting to the final was enough. Getting into the final with Robin in exactly the way that we planned to is winning itself, just like Robin said. Winning the whole game would be a really nice cherry on top, but I just want to thank you all for giving me the best 10 weeks I've had at this uni so far. And to all of you that I didn't know beforehand, it's been such a treat getting to know you. Yeah, thanks.
Alright, we are now voting. Remember, you're writing down the name of the person you want to win Survivor, and we will do it in boot order. So, Owen, you.
Reminds me. Robin, you are literally the most joyful person I've ever met in my entire life. Your speech made me cry. I'm so proud of you. You've achieved so much in my short time I've known you, and I think you're a really special human being, and I love you. I really hope you win.
I started this game honest, I ended it honest. I said that this is the person I want to win. Freddie might have lied, but I genuinely think he made me feel really good during the game and never made me feel stressed and uncomfortable, which Robin did at times. So that's why my vote is going there.
say. I feel like today we've heard a lot, and a lot of it I do think has made me look like a dick, but I am okay with it.
Well, before I read the votes, I'd just like to say thank you. Thank you to the jury for voting and playing such a great game. And thank you to the two finalists. You've honestly been incredible, and I couldn't have asked for a better first season. That there has to be a winner, and I will read the votes now. First vote, Freddie. Second vote, Robin. Third vote, Freddie. Robin. 2 votes Freddie, 2 votes Robin. Freddie. 3 votes Freddie, 2 votes Robin.
Without a doubt, no one ever knew their game as well as we knew Robin's. I never underestimated Robin, she was a great player, but I knew what she was doing, and that's not good enough for me.
Robin. 3 votes Freddie, 3 votes Robin.
Robin, your ability to play this game is never stopping. You've absolutely smashed it top bins, and it will be a robbery if you do not win.
Freddie.
I came here the earliest morning. I was so set on voting for Robin. I hadn't quite also appreciated how much I empathised with Freddie's explanation of how he found it really difficult to cross people. I just think he's won me over in thought of strategy and plan.
Robin.
Robin, I never underestimated you as a player. I've always thought that you've been brilliant. Take that show to Fringe, it's so good. And hey, I love women. This is one for the girls.
4 votes Freddie, 4 votes Robin, 1 vote left.
1 vote, 1 name to decide the fate of Survivor.
The winner of Survivor Warwick, Roots of War, Freddie.
First of all, Robin, I didn't get your game wrong. I knew full well that Freddie wouldn't completely beat you. It was just, that was my angle to get you to bring me to the final. Having said that, and I don't like myself for it, I cannot swallow my pride. I'm going to look back on this, and I'm sure when I watch this in the future, I'll wish I'd made a different decision. And I'm not going to. This time yesterday, Robin, you were assuring me you had my back and that we were loyal completely. And you did betray me, and I'll forgive you, and I already have forgiven you partially, but as of right now, Freddie, you have my vote. Prove me right.
Would you like to make your final confessional?
I cannot have asked for a better way to spend this term. I've never said this in the context of the game, but I suffer from some really awful anxiety, and playing Survivor is the one time this term where I just feel absolutely fine. So getting to have this experience with you guys has just been the absolute highlight of my uni experience so far. I want to say the biggest of commiserations to Robin. She absolutely killed this game. I couldn't have done this without her, and I just want to say thank you to Robin.
First, I'd like to say that I'm genuinely very happy for Freddie. You know, there is really no one I would have rather lost to. I was very sincere up there, and I think I'm just emotional because I'm exhausted. It's sort of, you know, it's been a long 10 weeks. And even if it didn't work out in my favour, no one can take that from me. No one can take what I did and what I achieved over the past 10 weeks. You know, it's made me think about all the other things I've told myself before I can't do, and now I'm like, you know what, maybe I can. Maybe I can do it. And maybe I will.
it doesn't feel real right now that I'm wearing this crown. And I've got a lot of imposter syndrome, but thank you for voting for me, and I hope you all have as much fun as I have.
Well, that's a wrap.
Well, I guess I'm winning.
Fire tornado!
It's fire tornado, blowing up this game just like a volcano. It's fire tornado. If I won't see it coming, they're down and we know. Yeah, we know. It's the fire tornado going to the end. Yeah, we got Owen and his loyalty will never bend. Isaac bringing us forward with the strategy. Phoebe leading the team and doing it happily. Rhea fucking them up, doing it quietly. Robin fucking them up, but not so quietly. Ben's got the inside info. There's only one team and it's fire tornado, blowing up this game just like a volcano. It's fire tornado. If I won't see it coming, they're done and we know.
Yeah, of course we are.
All the best people lose. One Direction came third. Molly May and Tommy Fury came second. Maybe coming second was the blessing in disguise all along. Goodbye from 2023, Robin. We had a silly time.